With loving greetings from all souls at this station, this is Matthew. Many of you anticipated that by now some truths would have come forth, so let us begin by saying the international group working off stage to rid your world of darkness is using good judgment by not publicizing their efforts. Be assured that everything underway is leading to the elimination of every vestige of darkness there. We know it is difficult to comprehend that darkness, even in small measure, can in time become so massive that twice it caused all of Gaia's life forms to perish and left her in deep sorrow. You can rightfully think of her as Mother Earth, and all human, plant, and animal life as her children, her sentient co-creations whom she loves and nurtures. She didn't want to experience their devastation again, and during the millennia, negativity deriving from darkness once more was accumulating. She kept struggling to keep her life forms alive. What happens anywhere affects everything else everywhere else, and Gaia's plight was known throughout this universe. But in accordance with the universal law that no civilization may intervene in the affairs of any other except by request, the myriad lighted souls could do nothing. Beings of light observe this law, beings of darkness do not. 80-some years ago, when Gaia's body had become so unbalanced it was at risk of hurtling into space and total destruction, she cried out for help. That was the onset of this unprecedented era in our universe. Instantly God authorized evolved civilizations to send Earth the vastness of light she needed to stabilize her axis and start ascending out of deep third density's deadly grasp. The highest universal council knew the dark forces intended their puppets on Earth to retain control by continuing the environmental destruction, disease, divisiveness, and bloodshed that produces negativity. For long ages the masses had lived in a world of injustices, poverty, warring, and fear, all of which emit negativity's low vibrations. They didn't want that kind of world for themselves and their children and their children's children, and since it is their world to change or let be, they needed to know they are powerful divine sovereign souls who can change what they don't want and manifest what they do want. Therefore, light also was needed on the planet to awaken the civilization so they would know who they are and the power they have. Out of love for Earth's members of our universal family, the first group of volunteers left their homelands to enter the global battle raging between the light forces and the dark. Dear brothers and sisters, some of you are those first responders, and others are among the many, many millions that followed. Regardless of how long you have been on Earth, you know just as we do, it is not easy to live in a world where dark control is maintained by a double-edged sword, fear on one edge, deception on the other. Yet, as we often have told you, the vital mission you took on already is a stunning success in the continuum, where the peoples are joyfully flourishing in a peaceful, harmonious world, and nature is restored to health and beauty. On Earth, the battle has reached crescendo. The Illuminati's patented COVID-19 virus adversely affected the populace physically, psychologically, and economically, but it failed to meet their objective of killing billions outright. That made stepping up other activities even more crucial, because the low vibrations they need to survive come from others' fear and pain. So, they are mightily wielding their sword via their mainstream media and social media propagandists, who report Russia's unprovoked invasion of Ukraine, blame Russian troops for the atrocities and wanton destruction that Illuminati in-country operatives and hired mercenaries commit, and relay the fabricated speculation that Russia will steamroll through Ukraine and onward to conquer other countries. The deceived public doesn't know Russian troops acting in consonance with light forces took on the essential task of destroying bioweaponry intended to eradicate most of the world's people. They don't know the troops are uprooting decades of Illuminati control in Eastern Union countries, and eliminating laboratories and storage facilities, production and storage of chemical weaponry, and headquarters of sex trafficking, money laundering, and worldwide computer hacking. They don't know the troops are exploding tunnels in compounds after rescuing babies and little children held captive until they are shipped wherever ordered by pedophilia rings and for satanic rituals. Yes, we have spoken about that before, but it bears repeating because many of those activities are commonplace in several countries. Ukraine may have had the Illuminati's most extensive range of entrenchments, but they have clandestine operations and operatives elsewhere too, most notably perhaps the United States, and, just as in Ukraine, it is without the awareness of the citizenry and the world public. Eventually that information will become known, as will activity ongoing behind the scenes, including arrests, trials, executions, and other killings of principals in that diabolical global network. Dear ones, if there were another way to end pervasive darkness, Gaia and all other light beings would devoutly wish it to be, but there is not with the depth and breadth of demonic activity. There is no way to negotiate with an element of society that works secretly to achieve its goal to exterminate most of the population, make hybrid robotic servants of survivors, and continue jeopardizing the life of the planet. There is no way to negotiate with an element that has descended into such a density of depravity that they exist by indulging in unconscionable crimes against humanity. The public, steeped in deception, is completely unaware of any of that, and many thoughts are send military arms to Ukraine and defeat the Russians. Such thoughts are keeping violence going, and that is exactly what the Illuminati want. They know this is a battle between them and the light forces, and they have become desperate. The fear factor in daily reporting of greatly inflated case and death statistics of COVID and its mutants lost steam as the peoples wearied of restrictions and started regaining control of their lives. Since the Dark Ones require the energy of fear to sustain themselves, always they have action afoot that will create fear in at least part of the populace. Now it is vaccines soon to be available for infants, World Health Organization's legal authorization to take whatever action they claim is necessary in the interests of world health, and a few cases of monkeypox popping up in different countries. Let us dispel any concerns you may have about those situations. Scientists in the extraterrestrial special forces rendered as harmless as possible toxins and erased programming of the nanochips in the solutions falsely called vaccines for babies and young children. Not only would WHO not have the hundreds of thousands they would need from local to national levels to enforce compliance with any edicts, but backlash would be too formidable to handle. And nothing at all in Earth's energy field of potential indicates that monkeypox could become the newest pandemic. However, just as the populace doesn't know the truth about what is happening in Ukraine, they don't know the truth about the aforementioned situations either. Consequently, their collective thoughts about all of those matters are producing negativity's low vibrations that are like fortresses between their focused attention and spiritual and conscious awareness. While this isn't delaying Earth's ascension, she is steadily orbiting into successively higher astral planes. It is delaying her people's awakening. This brings us to what many of you have asked, how you can help in addition to just being. Visualize Earth in golden white light. Visualization is powerful, and send the light of compassion, hope and optimism to all of our Earth family. Send light to Gaia too. Yes, she is rejoicing that the planetary cleansing underway is ending the long reign of rampant evil doing, but she also feels her people's suffering, sorrow and fear, and she needs light's healing energy. Your contributions continue to be invaluable even beyond the healing and awakening aspects of world transformation. The light you radiate, just being, also is undergirding all truths coming to light, and that is an integral part of the cleansing process. Dear ones, please do something for yourselves too. Take time from busyness, often to breathe deeply, slowly and rhythmically, so as to keep your energy flowing smoothly, and body, mind, and spirit in balance. We have been asked if Elon Musk is working for the light or the dark. Well, keep your friends close. Your enemies closer could be somewhat applicable insofar as the groups with whom he is working, but it's much more accurate to say that in his drive to succeed, he needs access to the superstructures of both light and dark agencies so he doesn't have to reinvent their wheels, so to say. In a third density world, money paves the path to success. Therefore, he has been well provided with it so he can accomplish what he intends, and there is no darkness whatsoever in his intentions. Elon is one of the few volunteers from a civilization that is not only highly spiritually and consciously evolved, but also one of the most technologically advanced. He is a brilliant visionary whose mission is to help Earth's civilization shoot for the stars and take their rightful place as members of our multidimensional universal family. All light beings honor him and send light to reinforce his progress and overall well-being. Matthew, what is spiritually evolved soul's opinion of abortion? The opinion of anyone who isn't living in your world won't be given any credibility there. Nevertheless, we shall tell what evolved souls know, including that conception is the first step toward a potential life in a physical civilization, and life itself begins when a newborn takes its first breath. A soul that has chosen to incarnate hovers around potential parents and knows their feelings. If conception occurs and will end in abortion, which may have been chosen in the parent's soul contracts, that soul moves on. This offers another soul the opportunity to enter the fetus so it can absorb the parent's feelings about the pregnancy and its ending. That experiencing is solely the province of the three participating souls, and it is the same when souls know a miscarriage will happen. Let us say a baby is born. Between conception and birth, and in agreement with the primary soul, a few other souls may take turns in the developing fetus to absorb the emotions of the mother if the father is not around, or both parents if they are together. Whether the feelings are intense happiness, dismay, or dread, that short period in the fetus can serve each of those souls as much as a physical lifetime would. The primary soul, whose cumulative experiencing already includes the mother's or parent's emotions during developmental months, enters the body of the newborn. Now let us say the souls of the parents know conception will result in the stillbirth of the child they greatly desire. Again, other souls may take turns during stages of fetal development to experience the joy of the expectant parents, who chose in their soul contracts to experience the sorrow that their infant was stillborn. It is the same if the baby survives only briefly. Our knowledge doesn't mean we are cheerleaders for abortion. However, experiencing opportunities for a number of souls and the ease with which conception occurs in a third-density civilization are primary considerations. Conception is a matter of science and spirit, which are one and the same energy, and since this affects only the participating souls, their choices are neither a religious nor a political issue. As a third-density civilization evolves, and dormant DNA strands become reactivated, conception will occur only when a couple genuinely wants a child. The high vibrations of their desire put into motion the pregnancy process. Beloved family, all light beings in this universe honor your steadfastness in your mission to help Earth's peoples awaken and support you with unconditional love throughout your journey. Love and peace. Suzanne Ward.